In the pantheon of contemporary Indian film protagonists, Pushpa stands tall.
पुष्पा सिर्फ एक नाम नहीं है, पुष्पा मतलब ब्रांड.
He starts out as a man on the margins, a daily wage laborer with a feminine name and a mountain-sized chip on his deformed, tilted shoulder. But Pushpa is so smart and so fearless that he soon ascends from a coolie in the sandalwood smuggling operation to head of the syndicate and godfather of Chittoor. However, power and money don't fuel Pushpa. More than anything, he wants respect and legitimacy, which has been denied to him since childhood because his father never legally married his mother. Like a Marvel superhero, Pushpa is invincible. But like Amitabh Bachchan in Diwar, who has Mera Baap Chor Hai tattooed on his arm, Pushpa is also permanently scarred. It's a potent combination. The flamboyant and fertile imagination of writer-director Sukumar Bandireddy has found fitting expression in the talent and commitment of Allu Arjun, who inhabits Pushpa as though he's never been anyone else. In Pushpa 2 The Rule, the actor romances, dances, weeps, swaggers, mutilates and murders. In sequences in the film, he pummels men to pulp while wearing makeup, a sari, earrings, bangles. Honestly, I don't know too many leading men who could pull this off. Pushpa 2 is designed to be India's biggest event film, but Sukumar and Allu Arjun don't take lazy routes, though there is one absolutely forgettable item number. This film has sweat and ambition and audacity, and yet we have to ask, how much Pushpa is too much Pushpa? 3 hours and 20 minutes is definitely an overdose. Like his hero, Sukumar is also unafraid. In Pushpa The Rise, he introduced a new character, Bhanwar Singh Shekhawat, played by Fahadh Faasil, in the last 25 minutes of the film. Here, he creates one dazzling highlight sequence after another. The plot, at least for the first half, is largely occupied with Pushpa and Shekhawat trying to outsmart each other. Pushpa is now an international player who can manipulate elections and chief ministerial positions. But he must also smuggle thousands of tons of sandalwood out of India and keep his wife Shivali happy. The fearsome Pushpa sits in the kitchen by her side, and at one point he kisses her foot. In the second half, the attention shifts to Pushpa's extended family and a new enemy comes to the fore. This story, of course, will continue in Pushpa 3, The Rampage. Sukumar, who's written both story and screenplay, isn't short of ideas. There are sequences in the film which are inventive and surprising and which will make you applaud. The pre-interval block has moments that are likely to make you laugh out loud. And despite the furious action, in one scene Pushpa is cutting off limbs, there are emotional moments which will make you tear up. There are also plenty of killer lines about Pushpa being his own brand. Early in the film, he declares, "Pushpa hai to dhanda hai." And later he says, "Upar pahunchne ke baad ego thanda rakhna chahiye." Sukumar also allows other characters to flourish. Shekhawat is essentially Shammi from Kumbalangi Nights on steroids and in uniform. Fahad is deliciously unhinged. Rashmika Mandanna has to do a lot of vigorous acrobatic dancing, but she does get one scene to shine. She gives Shivali spine and stands her own against Allu Arjun. But Pushpa 2 The Rule falters because from the first frame to the last, it stays in maximum mode. There is no place here for stillness or pause. It's a turbocharged narrative that stretches so long that inevitably the grip slackens. I wonder if Sukumar just became too enamored with his own creation. Scene after scene establishes Pushpa's cunning and his courage. For the first half hour, the film celebrates its hero so much that it feels like we're seeing different slow-motion introduction scenes again and again. The cat and mouse game between Pushpa and Shekhawat also becomes repetitive. And the songs by Devi Sri Prasad only add to the length. The composer who gave us the memorable O Antava and Shrivalli in the first film isn't able to repeat that magic here. But the background score, also by DSP, with additional score by Sam CS, goes a long way in amplifying the action. The weakest link in Pushpa 2 The Rule is a subplot about an underwritten female character who's only been added to the movie to move the hero's arc forward. Much like the teacher in Simba, or the teacher in Vetian, she's basically fodder for sexual assault, the portrayal of which is unnecessarily crude. In a film like Pushpa 2, logic or laws of physics don't apply. But we eventually get to a sequence in which Pushpa, with his hands and feet tied, is battling and defeating dozens of men with knives. He's like this missile pushing himself in different directions. Even his teeth become lethal weapons, and he seems possessed by a divine fury. It's borderline ridiculous. These many moving parts don't fit together coherently, but Allu Arjun keeps at it, all guns blazing. In the Jatra sequence, he is superb. I exited the theatre excited to see Pushpa 3 The Rampage, but also so exhausted that I'm grateful that these films take a few years to create. We need the time to think about Pushpa and also to recover from him. For more reviews like this, subscribe to The Hollywood Reporter India.